how many times is too many times to talk about one weapon? Well, to me, the answer is never enough. As you guys saw in my video last week, talking about the best shotguns and the worst shotguns to use in Red Dead Online, I talked about the double barrel shotgun, in my opinion, being the best shotgun in the game, and I stand by that fact. I think right now it is the best shotgun in the game. But of course, it all depends on your playstyle, what kind of player you are, what ability cards you have, all that stuff comes into play. But if you're an aggressive player and you're just trying to get as many kills as possible and you're using the best ability card setup as you see in my videos, thank you very much, drop a like on those, you know that the double barrel shotgun is the best shotgun in the game. So that is what we're talking about here, the one-shot kill, insane double barrel shotgun here in Red Dead Online. Like I said, I think it's the best shotgun in the game. Rockstar could change it. Rockstar could kind of, change the statistics. They could nerf it. They could even buff it if they change the ability cards anymore. I kind of like how the ability cards are changing every title update as well, kind of changing the meta in the game. But today, we are talking about the one-shot kill insane weapon in Red Dead Online, and that is the double barrel shotgun. So, if you guys don't know, this double barrel shotgun, it has a ton of range. It has more range than the pump action, it has more range than the repeating shotgun, it has more range than the semi-auto shotgun. The only drawback to the double barrel is you have 2 shells, and that may put off some people who have never used this weapon before. They say, well, the repeating shotgun has 6 shells, the pump action has 5, the semi-auto has 5. Why would I deal with only 2 shells? Because if I don't kill the player with those 2 shells, then I'm screwed because I have to reload, and that is what you should not be afraid of. Do not be afraid and do not be put off by the low ammo count. 2 shells is more than enough to kill people in this game. Of course, if you run into a group of 5 players and you don't have your semi-auto or you don't have your pump action, you only have the double barrel with 2 shells, you'll probably lose the gunfight, but you'll still take down 2 players if you know how to use this weapon properly. Even with the semi-auto or the pump action, if you run into 5 players when you run around a corner, most likely, you're not going to take them all out. The time to kill in this game is super fast because of the headshots, so even if you have the semi-auto or the pump action, which can unload 5 shells into people, you're not going to have time to unload all 5 shells into each individual player because one of them is going to pop you in the head first. And if you don't have the Never Without One card, like a lot of people don't anymore because they don't feel like it's worth it, then you're really going to die quickly because all you need is that one headshot and you're going down to the ground. That's it, your life is over. So definitely take into account of that. All right, 2 shells is more than enough. Yes, if you get caught reloading, you can kind of get screwed, but that's why you need to know how to play the game. Don't be, completely out in the open exposed so that when you need to reload, you're completely an open target and it's open and free range on you. Make sure you're by crates so you can take cover. Make sure you dive behind a wall. Make sure you do a little 360 motion or a little circular motion with your PlayStation 4 or Xbox One controller so you can spin your character around so people can't necessarily get the lock-on headshot for you. The insane range with this gun, especially with the painted black ability card, you are going to be knocking down players left and right with the double barrel shotgun, and it is only more apparent when you play the Name Your Weapon game mode. Name Your Weapon in this game is honestly right now my favorite game mode just because of the fact that we don't have necessarily a normal free-for-all match. I guess you can consider Most Wanted the most basic and the most normal FFA game mode, but the problem is it's all point-based, and so you just keep killing the high-ranked player who has the most amount of points, and then you actually can win the game. It's not necessarily about a race to 30 kills or the most kills in the 7-minute timer on the match. It's just about killing the player who has the highest value on his head over and over, and that's how you can actually win the game. But in Name Your Weapon, when everyone's forced to use the Cattleman revolver, the repeater carbine, and the double barrel shotgun, that is the best game mode to practice using this double barrel in PvP, because most players are going to be running around with their Cattlemans and with their double barrel shotguns trying to kill you. Not a lot of people use the repeaters, even though it has the most range out of those 3 weapons besides the tomahawk. You only get 1 point for getting kills with it, so players try to use the Cattleman because you get 2 points, or even the double barrel shotgun because you get 3. If you're not using Painted Black as an ability card, like I said, this gun may not be the gun for you, but I know a lot of players are still using Painted Black, including myself, and honestly, if you're using Slippery, or even you're using Slow and Steady, the double barrel shotgun is a pretty good choice, and I will explain in this video right now. With Slippery, all you need to do is activate the SB ability to basically put the enemies who are trying to lock onto you in free roam. That gives you a chance to run right up on them, deactivate it, basically SB pop them. Once you deactivate your Slippery ability card, all you need to do is you're right in front of them, so you just need to hip fire and you'll shoot them square in the chest, basically, and you're gonna get the kill because they're going to be trying to lock onto you. Of course, if you have a painted black player who knows how to actually aim and play the game and has thumbs, he'll be able to lock onto you no matter what with painted black, and that is why I love it, because you can counter slippery. It has problems countering slow and steady depending on what position you are on the map, if the slow and steady player has the height advantage and what weapons he's using, if he's a good shot, if he knows how to play the game, if he has thumbs, but that goes for everyone, right? So the insane range on this gun is awesome. Use painted black. Like I said, all you need to do basically is just quickly activate the painted black ability card. That gives you no bloom on the shotgun, and then this thing basically turns into a sniper rifle, and that is why I love using this weapon. Not necessarily because of the power, not necessarily because of the range, normally because the weapon normally you'll find yourself missing if you try and take someone out at long range, but once you turn on and activate that painted black ability card, this weapon has just as much range as an actual revolver or a pistol does at lock-on, and it's insane. So I can't stress that enough. You need to know how to play with the double barrel shotgun. I have plenty of tips and tricks videos here on my channel detailing how to use shotguns, how to use repeaters, how to use pistols, how to use revolvers. All right, definitely take advantage of those. Watch those videos. I'll have some linked down in the description below as well. But if you guys know how to play with this weapon, then you know how amazing and how insane the double barrel shotgun is, and you'll most likely find yourself getting one-shot kills. There, I can't even tell you how many times I've been up close and I've gotten hit markers with the repeating shotgun, with the semi-auto shotgun, with the pump action shotgun. I just never find the same type of result with the double barrel than I do with the rest of the shotguns in this category. And it's awesome because you can play with the double barrel in a couple of different ways. You can rush around with it like I do and be very aggressive, always getting up in people's faces, always moving around the map, always cycling, or you can hang back. The thing is, if you're gonna hang back, you need to always make sure you're closer to the enemy than being at repeater range. That means if you are using a repeater and you know you can't lock onto someone at that distance, then you're too far for the double barrel shotgun. Same with the actual revolvers and the pistols in the game. If you're aiming at people with the double barrel shotgun and you're not locking onto them, then it means you're farther than you'd be able to lock onto them with a pistol as well, or at least painting the target. So you need to know how to use the weapon properly. Always make sure you're at a little bit of a close range. Of course, this weapon is going to excel up close because it is a shotgun at the end of the day, but the double barrel shotgun just has a magical ability, in my opinion, where if you paint targets or if you're just using painted black to get the no bloom headshot or anything like that, you're good to go. The semi-auto and the pump action, if you're using slugs on them, they are pretty good, but I find myself losing way too many gunfights with those weapons that I know I would otherwise be winning if I was using the double barrel myself. So like I said, you can rush with the gun or always make sure you're closer than pistol or revolver range with the double barrel shotgun if you choose to hang back. Name your weapons, probably the best game mode to practice with it. And so how you use this gun properly is cycling the spawn points. All right, if you guys don't know what that means, this was made popular in Call of Duty. This is how a lot of Call of Duty pros play the game, or at least pub stompers that go into pubs matches like Domination or Hardpoint or Headquarters or even TDM and actually use their guns and kill people. Basically, what cycling the spawn points mean is, say in hostile territory, for example, on Blackwater, you have people that spawn on the hill, you have people that spawn on the hill on the other side of town, both hills, you have people that spawn behind the bank or whatever that building is that you take place in the story mode or the online story missions in Red Dead Online. You have the Coyote Pack spawn point, you have all those different team spawn points, and basically what you do is you run around to each one and you're always circling the map, you're hanging out on the outside of the map, and whenever you arrive at someone else's spawn, there's probably going to be 1, 2, maybe even 3 players there. You just want to make sure you take care of them, shoot them, get them out of the way, and then you move on to the next spawn, because people who play this game have some type of revenge obsession. All right, when they get killed in the game, and the same goes for myself, when I get killed by a player, I'm trying to seek that player out the next life I have. The game also likes to spawn you near where you last died, which I don't necessarily think is a good idea in my opinion. I find myself spawning closer to where I died than spawning further away from where I died typically. That's just how this game's spawn system is. So when you're cycling the spawn points, you definitely don't want to hang around in an area too much. You always want to keep on the move, go from one spawn to the next, keep popping those players, and that way it opens up the map for your team to actually capture the flags and win the game in hostile territory. But name your weapon is definitely one of the best. And also, I just want to touch on the double barrel shotgun. Does this weapon need to be nerfed? That is something a lot of people have asked me because they want to know, because they know that my favorite gun is the double barrel shotgun. And honestly, I will just tell you guys, I really don't care anymore. Do what you want, Rockstar. All right, this is a very good gun in the game. I don't think it's insanely overpowered by any means. I think a lot of weapons can counter this gun as well, but if you're going to have a very aggressive playstyle, you're going for a ton of kills in Red Dead Online, and you're using, say, your Evans repeater, your Litchfield repeater, you're using your Lancaster, whatever weapon you're using, Springfield rifle, bolt action, you could be using a pistol for all I care. You always want to make sure that you have one weapon slot enabled for the double barrel shotgun. I think this is the necessary weapon to always have in your arsenal in Red Dead Online, and I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on the weapon, your guys' self. I wanted to bring a little bit of humor to this live commentary here. This commentary is just talking about the weapons, giving some tips and tricks, teaching you guys how to use this weapon. I want to be a little enthusiastic. I know it's not taken super seriously, but I do mean it by when I say this is my favorite weapon. I think it is the best weapon in Red Dead Online to use, and if you know how to use this weapon properly, you will always be top of the scoreboard. All right, any good player in Red Dead Online, any high-level player especially, is going to be using this weapon with the Painted Black ability card. They go hand in hand. If you use Painted Black, you're most likely using the double barrel shotgun as well. If you're using the double barrel shotgun, you're most likely have Painted Black enabled as your Deadeye ability card as well. So I'd love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on the double barrel shotgun and even the rare shotgun in Red Dead Online. Do you enjoy it? Do you not enjoy using it? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Please let me know. If you guys have any other tips that you'd like to offer in the comments, please do so. If anyone has any questions and you guys see questions down in the comments that you know you can answer seriously and actually help that person out, please do so as well. I really want people to actually learn from this video as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. I'm going to have more videos here on Red Dead Online tips and tricks in the future. So if you want to learn how to get better, I'm going to have videos like how to die less, how to get more kills, best player movement tips, how to rushing class setups, just different class setups in general, best saddles, other really good weapons you guys want to try out, and just things like that. So definitely stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Online video. Adios, amigos.